warehouse, data marts.
Yes, yes. See, this is all MSBI or any BI. Okay, any BI tool is about. See, here
Okay.
you have a different type of databases. Okay, different type of. So
Yeah.
if you understand this diagram, this overview diagram, then the whole thing is in this diagram. Okay, the whole BI part. Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
just make you analyze what is integration and what you like what is it all about. So see here we have different databases.
Yes.
Okay, with the help of the different databases we can perform this we can go through this concept, data integration part.
Yeah.
Okay, which stands
Yeah.
which has extraction, transformation and loading, ETL, which
Yes.
acronym for that is ETL
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so SSIS is an
Yes.
ETL tool. I think you know
Yeah.
about it, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, SSIS is one ETL tool provided by Microsoft.
Yeah. Okay.
Like similar to this SSIS ETL tool, there are many other tools in the market like Informatica.
Yes. Yeah. Data stage, Informatica,
Yeah, Data
Cognos.
Stage, Informatica, Cognos, and Pentaho,
Yeah.
some open source tools. Okay.
Okay.
So your SSIS part comes over here in the data integration part. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so with the help of SSIS, you integrate data from different databases. Then you store that in a data warehouse. Okay, data warehouse or data marts. So how well you are with this data warehouse concepts, data warehouse, data marts? So do you have any idea about it or?
Yeah, I have some basic ideas about data warehousing. It's like having dimension tables and fact tables, and each and every table are linked by primary keys and foreign keys.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
with the help of this ETL part, you store your data after performing this extraction, transformation and loading in a data warehouse or data marts, or directly excluding this data warehouse part, you can directly take this data after integration and all to this query and reporting, data mining and analysis. Okay.
Okay.
So here this can you see this query and reporting?
Yeah.
This query and reporting you have done, right? SSRS.
Yes. Yeah. I have done it.
Yeah,
but the one thing with SSRS is I'm not more favor in using MDX queries because I have not used cubes. So I have not used MDX queries, but there are some requirements even to use MDX queries. So yeah, so I need to learn even MDX.
Fine. That like if you're using SSAS and SSRS, then definitely there's a use of MDX queries. You need to have them because if you are using a cube as an underlying data source for the report. Okay.
Yeah, I need MDX. Yeah.
That query is generated in the MDX part.
Yeah.
So here your data mining and analysis, here SSAS part comes.
Okay.
So this is a generic diagram for this data warehousing and BI part.
Yeah.
So as we are Microsoft technology holders, like data integration part, our SSAS comes here, our SSRS comes here in query and reporting, and SSAS comes here in data mining and analysis. Okay. Then later on with this SSRS reports, this cube, you can use SSAS cube as underlying data source for the SSRS report, as I told you earlier. And also SSAS cube, you can call that SSAS cube in an Excel sheet. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
In sheet.
It's mostly similar to pivot table.
Exactly. A pivot table just for slicing and dicing. Okay, you can use cube over there. Okay. And the final outcome is the business performance management, wherein the business goes through the reports which you have generated. Then everything like the business takes it for enhancing the performance and all. Okay. So this is the generic diagram which I
Okay.
wanted you to show.
Okay. Okay.
So like business intelligence is nothing but the decisions taken by business people, okay, to enhance the performance of the business, and to achieve that business
Yeah.
intelligence, the backend component is data warehousing.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the overall concept. What a BI, why is BI used, and for BI, for attaining BI,
Okay.
what we need to do.
Yeah.
The back end is data warehousing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'll just
Okay.
discuss about SSIS. If you have, meanwhile, if you have any questions,
Yeah.
please ask.
Yeah. Actually, when I was starting a project in my new company, we started with building a data warehouse.
Okay.
But I know how the tables have been linked, but I need to know how we are categorizing. I don't have clear idea about how we are categorizing dimension tables and fact tables. I know like usually fact tables is full of measures in it, but there are some more fact tables in it like factless fact table, something like that. Yeah, I need to know. Can you please throw some lights on these concepts in data warehousing, like exactly how it should be, how we need to maintain data inside the data warehouse, and if we are going to load the data from the SSIS into data warehousing, how it should be loaded, what type of constraints we need to be maintained on these tables. So I need some ideas on it
Yeah.
in future, like when we start
Yeah. Yeah.
class. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So
because I asked Sriram, I'm sorry, because I asked Sriram about, especially I need more detail on data warehousing and BI concept, because my project is entirely based on, because my project is entirely based on data warehousing and BI.
okay.
I need some more knowledge on data warehousing too.
Yes, definitely. Because SSIS, if you're going to work with SSIS and SSAS, they, the foundation is your data warehousing concepts. If you are well versed with data warehousing concepts, then you can easily go through this SSIS and SSIS part. Okay. So
Okay.
as you were saying, dimensions and facts, you're right. Fact tables contains numerical data, measures and all.
Yeah.
Okay. Numerical data measures. So here facts again consists of, there are some factless fact tables. The factless fact tables, a fact table which is not having any measure.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you, I can suggest you one thing. If you need to understand, have you ever heard of this AdventureWorks database?
Yeah. There are these sample database.
Yes, sample databases. Sample
Yeah.
databases. Yeah, you can also refer those databases like how they are designed, because there you have in the
Okay.
samples you have OLTP database, you have OLAP database.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, data warehousing OLAP. I think you are aware of this OLAP database.
Yes. Yeah. It's mostly relational databases. Okay.
OLAP.
So I think, yeah. It's online analytical processing database.
Yeah, that is
right?
that is especially the data warehousing part.
Yeah. So these tables have been linked using relational model. Am I right?
The OLTP is especially the relational model, which consists of this transactional processing. Okay.
Okay.
And this OLAP is especially multidimensional.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
OLAP is multidimensional, and your relational concept especially comes for the OLTP part.
Okay. So this OLAP has some more divisions in it, like ROL. Rollup and Molap, am I right?
Yes, yes. There are three different types: Rollup, Molap,
And then
and
hybrid, that is a
Holap.
combination
Yeah, yeah,
between, okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
So there you have AdventureWorks. In this you have OLTP database and OLAP database. So just if
okay,
you're going through that OLTP and OLAP, you can easily
yeah,
find the difference between them, and you can differentiate OLTP and OLAP. And as you told me, OLAP has three types: Rollup,
yeah,
MOLAP, and HOLAP. Rollup
yeah,
is relational OLAP.
okay,
Okay, wherein data and aggregation, data part and aggregations part is stored in the relational database.
okay,
Okay, and one more is MOLAP, which is multidimensional online analytical processing. Okay, here
okay,
data and aggregations are in the multidimensional, multi dimensions.
okay,
Okay, in the
okay,
dimensions
okay,
part,
okay,
wherein hybrid OLAP, here
mm-mm.
data is in relational databases, and aggregations are in dimensional databases. So this is the difference between this OLAP, MOLAP, and HOLAP.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So
yeah,
your data part and aggregations part. Aggregations are
okay,
mostly performed on measures.
okay, okay, yeah, okay,
Data part, your data part is especially the dimensions part.
okay,
Okay. And the
okay,
basic difference between dimensions and facts is, facts, as you told me, facts consists of measures,
mm-mm.
and your
Okay,
dimension consists of categorical data. I think this you are aware of this.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So if you are looking at that, do you have that installed in your system, AdventureWorks sample databases?
No, 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 it's not with me. No, maybe I'll try to install today.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah, I can see
you can
the
yeah
management
uh,
studio
yeah,
here.
I have opened it. So can you see here AdventureWorks DW, AdventureWorks LT, three things.
Yes, yes,
So here
yes.
this AdventureWorks 2012, this is your OLTP.
Okay, so it
Okay,
has relational tables in it.
just relational
Okay.
tables, direct normal what we have. Okay,
Okay,
our
okay.
normal tables, AdventureWorks, and the other
Mm-mm.
part, AdventureWorks DW.
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is OLAP.
Okay,
This consists of dimensions and
okay,
facts.
okay, okay.
Okay, so like if you are looking at these
Yeah.
two, if you are going through these two databases now, one is OLTP and one is OLAP. So
Mm.
you'll get a picture like
Mm.
how dimensions are designed and how facts are designed. Okay,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah,
just
okay.
for your personal reference.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Later on when we are getting into the course content, we can go in detail.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just to give a basic idea, I have shown
Yeah.
you this.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
Fine. So have you ever worked on any other BI tools or only Microsoft BI?
No, it's only Microsoft B. I have learned Informatica, but I have not used it.
Fine.
I don't have any experience in Informatica.
Okay. But currently that's a standard ETL tool.
Yeah, I know, but I have not used it.
Yeah.
I have
But
learned it, but there is no chance for me to use that.
but the interface of Informatica compared to SSIS, SSIS interface is very good user interface. Okay. Wherein
Okay.
Informatica interface is like a little bit dry. You doesn't enjoy much working with Informatica.
I know that. I know it has more tables, mappings, this stuff.
More tables, mappings. Like here in SSIS, everything you
Yeah.
have in a single window.
Yeah, that, yeah, I know that you have 2 to 4 tabs, I think, so you need to
Four
go,
tabs,
you need
yes.
to, yeah, you need to, for sources, you need to go for one tab, for mappings, for transformations, you need to go for one more tab.
Yes, yes. So I'll just have a small discussion on this SSIS part.
Yeah. So when is the time for you, convenient time for you, Small, to take the classes?
For me, it will be in the night.
May I know the time?
Time after 9 IST.
Because okay, because my office hours will be in by 5:30. So if I need to come early, I can come early. Because if it's 5:30, here UK time, I think it will be almost 11 o'clock in India.
Fine. That's not a problem for me. After 9, anytime.
Oh, okay, then it's fine. But it will be late night for you. If I start classes around 6:30 in the evening, it will be more late for you. I think so, because if it will take 1 hour for me to come to home from my office.
Okay.
So maybe I'll come around 11 o'clock IST. So I think it will be more late for you.
Yeah, 11 o'clock is fine for me. After as I told you, any time after 9.
Oh, okay, then it's fine. Okay. How long will be the class for each day?
That's 1 to 1.5
So
hour.
it's 1 hour or 2 hour? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 to 1.5 hour.
Oh, then it's fine. Okay.
So you work from?
I work from. You're asking for the company that I'm working?
Yes, yes.
No, I work from morning 8:30 to evening 5:30.
8:30 and 5:30.
Yeah.
So you resided?
I'm sorry?
Place, where do you stay in?
Oh, I'm staying at Coventry at UK.
Coventry, fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was searching for this material actually.
Okay. Okay.
I got it. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah. There are 5 PPTs.
Yes. So just I'll take you through this concepts. Okay.
Yeah.
Like if you have worked or if you have any doubts, you just ask, point out questions.
Sure.
See, in SSIS, especially we have packages. Have you seen the window of have you ever opened the window of SSIS and have you tried to explore
Yes.
what it contains and all?
Yes. Yeah. It has control flow, data flow, and transformations with control flow. And sorry, it has more transformations with the data flow, and it has sources and destinations.
Then it doesn't make sense showing you all this. I just directly open the window. So, do you have any questions on that? Just I'll open for you.
No, okay.
So these are the two. So you're working on which version? SQL Server?
2008.
2008.
That's just, yeah, it's 2008. It's not 2005. Okay. They didn't even upgrade now.
Fine.
No, I was working in my previous company than this. They are using Windows Server 2012, Visual Studio 2010. Everything is new there, but here it's very old company and even the softwares are even old.
Okay. So I have opened SQL Server 2012.
Okay.
So there are a little bit changes over here compared to 2008. So see here, can you analysis services? Initially, we used to have only this analysis services, multidimensional and data mining part, but they have included this tabular project and all.
Okay.
So here in SSAS, we have two kinds of projects, multidimensional and tabular. Okay.
Okay.
Initially, we used to have only multidimensional in 2008, 2008 R2. From this 2012, they have added this tabular project.
Okay.
We can get into much details when we are working on this SSAS part.
Yeah.
Integrations, reporting service, sorry, not reporting, this is integration services project and project wizard. I think you know the basic difference between this.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So one takes the wizard and the other one is without wizard. So this is practical. Okay, I'll just open.
So it's similar to report server project and report server, is it?
Exactly. So I've just opened. So the PPTs which I have, which I've showed you, is of 2008 only, 2008 R2.
Okay.
So you are aware of this control flow, data flow, transformations, and all this. So
Yeah.
let me come in order. See. So you have opened 2008 SSIS window, right? You have explored. So
Yes.
here in this 2012 window, do you find any difference?
I think, yeah, we have differences, but I don't know what it is because I have used it in 2012. I have used it SSIS in 2012, but not too much.
Yeah, fine. Nothing much difference, Revati. One is this parameters tab has been added.
Okay.
In the 2008 up to 2008 R2, we had only control flow, data flow, event handlers, and package explorer.
Okay.
Okay. This parameters tab has been added.
Yes.
Okay. This has been added additionally in SSIS 2012, and here in the toolbox on the left side in the toolbox, all the tasks have been grouped.
Okay.
Sorry. Like containers have been grouped.
Yeah. Okay.
And see, and this common, they have made a set, okay, of these different tasks. Okay. In the data flow, here also you can have a look. See here, yeah, the grouping is done. That's it. The grouping is done in the toolbox part, and the parameters has been added. So this is a slight difference. And you are saying about some task which has been given to you, right?
Yeah.
Just can you please repeat for me?
It's like I need to check for some files if they are present in a particular folder, and if they are not present, I need to create an email task to send the email to particular recipients. And if I find the file, then I need to upload those files into particular destination table in the data warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the task actually. They said to find if there are any files present or not, I can use one of the tasks called file system task. I think so. If not, I can even use VB script, some C# script to find if the files are there or not. So I have tried those things, and I just have tried something like to check if the files are there or not, and I use some variables to store the path, the source path, destination path, and just very simple task. I use some C# script to do that.
Okay.
That's it.
So you do one thing. Yes,
yeah.
please.
Yes. No. I just say.
You frame your tasks, the task which you have you had a.
Okay.
Just a minute. just now you, the task which you have discussed with me, you frame this task in a questions, okay, like
Okay.
in a steps format. Like first step I need to do this, second step I need to do this. Okay, you frame this task in the steps. Okay, so for the first one, which you told me, okay, you need to loop through a set of files in a folder.
Yes, we can use for loop container something.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel that like you have explored a lot. So exactly, for looping a set of files in a folder, you need to use this for each loop container. Okay, I'll just tell you the overview of what you can do, because so you can just place your folder over here. Okay, using this for each loop container, you can loop through a folder, a set of files which it is containing. Then as you told, if the folders are present, then you need to
if the folders are present, I need to upload those folders, files. Yeah, files into particular destination table.
Yeah, fine.
In data warehouse.
Okay. For sending, I think for sending mails, you know the task.
I think it's email task. Yeah, send mail task. Yeah.
Send mail task. For sending mails, it is send mail task. Okay. You can frame this.
Yeah.
This task can be done.
Yeah.
The destination part. Can you please, have you any idea? Do you have any idea about this control flow and data flow, difference between these both?
So control flow, you will be having it shows how the order for files to be executed, so the task to be executed.
Yeah, exactly. You can control the flow of the different tasks.
Yeah.
Okay. Operational tasks, especially operational tasks, you can control. Like first, for your requirement, we need to work with file system task. We need to work with send mail task. We need to work with for
destination. So
okay.
Yeah, and finally. Yeah, and finally we need to do destination transformation something.
Yeah.
OLEDB destination.
Source and destination, where can I find them?
Maybe I think it should be in data flow task.
Data flow task, exactly. So here, like I'll set the order. Like first I need to search a set of files in a folder. For that, I need a for each loop container. Then I need to, okay, for sending mails, you have a send mail task. Then for the for destination part, okay, for the source and destination part, you have data flow task. Okay, so here in the control flow, you with the help of this precedence constraint, these are called as precedence constraints. Have you ever heard about this?
Yeah, I heard about it. Like we have some. Yes, if we can set expressions for those precedence constraints too. I think so.
You can also set the expressions.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the advanced part, but the basic thing is like you can set the order. Precedence order. Which task
to be done.
To be done after which task.
Okay.
So
if some task fails, we can make it to go through some other task. If it is okay, it's like success failure. I think so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for example, if I have this, if I just join this.
Yeah. If we find those files, then it should be looped to.
See. These are the properties. If it is success, if it is failure, if it is completion, you can just if it is success, then to which task. If it is failing, then to which task. Okay. You can set the precedence. You can set the precedence in this precedence constraint editor. Okay.
Okay.
So the concepts here in control flow tab is different tasks, then precedence constraint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
then the main part, our flow of the data from source to destination comes under this data flow task. Okay. To enter into data flow task, one thing is you can click on this data flow tab, or
Else we can click on to control flow task in the data flow task. Yeah.
Data flow task. If you're double clicking, it will redirect you to this data flow part. Then here your flow comes. Like you can take a source assistant.
May I know? Yeah, okay. The difference between source assistant and some of the sources that we have. I think instead of source assistants, we can even take some other source files and under other sources. I think so.
Like you're talking about a flat file, OLEDB.
Yeah, flat files. Yes. Yeah.
You're talking about this part?
Yeah.
See, this is the change which has been done in 2012. In the 2008 R2, you can find, you will not have this favorites part, and you will have source, and you will have all this.
Yeah.
You will have this Excel flat file like this. Okay.
Yes.
So here for our feasibility, what they have done in 2012, directly they have taken source assistant, and it will assist you the mostly used sources.
Okay.
Mostly used source adapters. Like if I double click it, see, SQL Server, Excel, flat file. These are the mostly used, right? Oracle is the other database which if we want to integrate from different databases of different data providers. Okay. So these are the mostly used. So for our assistants, for the quick part, they have they have implemented this part, source assistant and destination assistant. Like if you need anything else, then you can have in other sources and other destinations. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Similarly, you have destination assistant. Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is the frequently used SQL Server, Excel, and your Oracle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So with the help of this source and these are the different transformations. Okay, which are the common transformations which are mostly used, like conditional split, data conversion, your derived column. These are the mostly used. So this has been grouped. There are also some other transformations which we rarely use. Okay.
I think like I have tried fuzzy lookup. I have tried fuzzy lookup in that just to see if that is approximate matches for looking up. Is that so? For fuzzy lookup? Okay.
Yeah, fuzzy lookup is the similarity. You can check for similarity.
Yeah. Okay.
So that depends upon our requirement. That depends upon like your tasks, what you get from your company. So depending upon that, we can go for these different transformations. Okay, then we can use them. So
I have mostly used data conversion.
Okay.
I have tried a lot of data conversion, but I really fail because most of the time when I use it's like the data and the data source is entirely different, because I used to import files from Excel or flat file where there is some difference between Unicode and non-Unicode characters. I always fail in that. I really still don't have clear idea about like string. There are something which is really, I don't know about what is Unicode, non-Unicode, but I know most of the characters that we are importing from Excel is not compatible with what the data that we are stored in SQL Server. It's mostly different.
One thing is we can handle this data conversions using this data conversion. Using this data conversion transformation. And the other thing is you can handle there itself.
Okay. Like we can convert into n vector.
Yeah, there itself in the source tables. Or for example, if you're writing a query, for example, in the source part, you're like we have different options, right? one thing we can, in the source we can take a stored procedure, we can take a table, or we can in the text format just we can write a query.
Write a query, yeah.
Yes. While writing the query, we can apply convert or cast operators.
Yeah, cast operations, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And in the data conversions part,
yeah.
In the data conversions part, like if you are retrieving the data from flat file, normal flat file, okay, like all the columns belong to your string data type. A string data type, which here in SSIS in the data conversion part, it will be DT underscore str.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and when we retrieve the data from Excel sheet, all the fields belongs to DT underscore WSTR.
WSTR, yeah.
Yes. So there are some like standard formats for this SSIS.
Okay.
Depending upon that, like we can, data conversion, even I agree that this is quite tricky. It happens. Mostly it happens.
But it's kind of very simple transformation, but this data conversion, it takes a lot of time just to find exactly what kind of conversion we need to use just to transform the data.
Exactly. So this is what control flow contains, then data flow contains. Okay. Here, if you have any doubt in data flow tab, just for this demo session, we'll just discuss the window.
Okay.
What
No
it
problem.
contains.
Yeah, I think you can think me like I have zero knowledge in integration services, because I don't want to learn by making you think that I know everything. You can think like I don't have anything in SSIS, because maybe I would have learned, because I don't have more experience in integration services. The assumption that I have made with integration may be wrong. So I don't want to learn by knowing myself everything in SSIS. You can think that I have zero knowledge in SSIS.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because maybe my assumptions may be wrong. I don't want to continue learning with those wrong assumptions.
Yeah. Now, once this is nothing like once SSIS, once from control flows, like starting from control flow to data flow, then there's some, like if you are using any single transformation.
Yeah.
Any single transformation, like with help from control flow, you're taking a task. Then in the data flow task, we're taking a source, one transformation, and one destination. So this is from start to end. Yes, ETL part. This is done. You're here in the control flow tab. You are taking something. Okay. Then with the help of data flow here, the source you are extracting data from different sources.
Yeah.
Like whether it's a SQL source or flat file source or Excel source.
Yeah.
Then you're that's the extraction part. Then you're applying transformations, different transformations. That's your transformations part. Then after that, your destination comes into picture. You're loading your data into the destination. That's the loading part. Yeah. So your ETL concept ends over here. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah.
So if you're well aware of this control flow and data flow part, so from start to end, this is done.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from this, there are some different concepts like event handlings and all.
Yeah.
Okay. You're handling different event handlers. Like we have this many event handlers. If there is any error or after execution of the task, okay, after validating the task or before executing the task, before validating the task. So these are different event handlers. This will be used. Then your so this event handlers contains this different events, wherein depending upon our requirement, we can handle these events. Okay. Then the next is your package explorer, which contains all the details. Okay. What all connection managers we are using, what all log providers we are using, and this log providers, logging concepts comes here. Can you see this SSIS menu? Here in SSIS we have this logging. Okay. If you are using this logging concept, so what all log providers we are using? Okay. So that comes here, and what all executables? Executables are your tasks. What all you are using. Okay, that comes over here. Then precedence constraints, what all you're using, then parameters if you're using. So everything you can have a track.
Okay.
You can have a track what all I have in my package, what all
Yeah.
I have. So just for this demo session, I'm just taking you through the interface. Okay, taking you through the interface, and why I'm especially asking about the task is for the
Yeah.
task which your company gave to you, we
Yeah.
just discussed. So if you are performing the task from starting to end, that's the whole part of SSIS. Okay, probably in our first class we can go with that.
Okay, okay, no problem.
That,
So
what
when we are going to start the class?
probably Tuesday.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
why I'm asking about the task is for the task, the first thing you can learn.
Yes.
Okay, you can learn from starting to ending what is the exact flow in SSIS. The second thing is your job done. Matlab your task is done for your company.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so then later on, later on after this I'll try to cover each and every transformation and all.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. So you with the help of these 5 tabs,
Yes.
just we had an overview of these tabs. One is this, the new one is parameters part.
Yeah.
Okay. So this parameters part is implemented in this 2012 for the dynamic concepts like dynamic configuration and all. Okay. Like have you ever heard of this package configuration?
Package configuration in the sense like configuring data sources, is that so? Connection manager something?
Yeah, connection managers, data sources and all. For example, package configuration, the concept of package configuration comes like this. Like in your development environment, you have developed a package. Okay, like your dev server is, for example, something like dev SSIS.
Okay.
Okay, now you have developed your project. Okay, you have developed the whole package, you have developed your project, and you have deployed that project. Now your package from your dev environment is moving to test environment. Okay, into test environment. Now for testing, your dev server details are different, connection manager,
Testing server.
data sources are different. Testing server details are different. Okay, so one thing is, again in the test environment you have to open the package, everything you have to open the package in SSIS SSDT using SSDT, SQL Server Data Tools. Okay, and then you have to change all the connection managers and all. Okay, so this is this requires a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
So what package configuration does is, in the dev environment, when you are developing a package, you choose this package configuration. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the later part after your control flow, data flow, everything is done. Okay, when your package is built. So, okay.
Hello. Hello. Hello.